What's up? If you're a newcomer to this channel, please like, comment, and share this video. Don't be afraid to subscribe too. If you're already a part of the channel, please share the video content on this channel. If you want to know any of my social media information, I'll show them on the screen right now. You know my motto, I'm trying to save one relationship at a time and one mind at a time. I'm your host Marcus, and this is another episode of Marcus Speaks. Welcome back to another episode of Marcus Speaks. I'm your host Marcus. So, let's get right into it. So, I think it was Tuesday that Gayle King of I forget her show. It's like something today or something in the morning or whatever. But it's on CBS. So she had a interview with WNBA Superstar Lisa Leslie. So, basically the interview was about Lisa Leslie giving her take of the greatness of Kobe Bryant. But what Gayle King wanted to do was ask her salacious questions about him and bring up old rape allegations. Such as the video I posted last week talking about the three idiots that brung up bullshit about Kobe Bryant. So as y'all can see, I borrowed from my Oprah Winfrey video, the title, The Self-Destruction of Oprah Winfrey. I'm doing like a dual video, a dual topic video with that. So it's basically a mash of my last week's video along with the self-destruction video. So this, as you can see, for the title is The Self-Destruction of Gayle King. Stop with all those bullshit apologies. So what I want to say before I get into this is I don't understand what's the why is it so hard for these people to not bring up certain stuff that doesn't really have any validity to his legacy. So she brought up rape allegations. That case happened in 2003. I think it ended in like 2004. So there's 17 years of this passing that you could have asked him about this while he was still in the NBA, still, dominating and breaking records. Like, you could have, when he retired, had an interview with him and asked him these questions, but you chose not to. So now that he's deceased, and he's not even in the ground yet. Like, that's one thing that I feel like people aren't understanding when it comes to Kobe Bryant. Like, him and Gigi and the other 7 individuals that was also in the helicopter, they weren't, like, they're not in the ground yet. I'm pretty sure that the police are still conducting an investigation of what happened, and these people's bodies serve as evidence. So I'm pretty sure that whenever they release the bodies, so further action can happen, such as planning, every individual's funeral. What we're not getting at is he's not in the ground yet. And even if he was in the ground, why is it okay to tarnish a man's legacy about anything? So this is one thing I want to bring up. So they brought out the rape allegations, and I'll allow Gayle to ask the questions. Take it away, Gayle.
It's been said that his legacy is complicated because of sexual assault charge, which was dismissed in 2003, 2004. Is it complicated for you as a woman, as a WNBA player? But Lisa, you wouldn't see it. As his friend, you wouldn't see it. Is it even a fair question to talk about it, considering he's no longer with us and that it was resolved? Or is it really part of his history?
So as you can see, she basically started asking stupid questions about the rape and the girl not taking the stand or not participating in the case at all. So this is what I want to give y'all. I found this the other night. And someone wrote this on Facebook. So the person said, since Gayle King didn't mention any facts last night, did you know Kobe Bryant's accuser was on medication for her schizophrenia? Did you know the day she went to get examined for a rape case against Kobe, she had semen in her from other men? And when asked about that, she said she put some dirty underclothes that she thought was clean, and that's where the semen from the other men came from. Did you know his accuser, and I won't say her name, but you can probably look this up online somewhere. So we'll call her Jill. Did you know his accuser Jill attempted suicide and tried to kill herself twice before accusing Kobe of sexual assault? The attempt at suicide for attention from her boyfriend, attention from her boyfriend she had while sleeping with Kobe, as she stated. So basically, this girl was on medication for schizophrenia. So I'm not sure how that medication makes someone act, and I don't know what the state of her relationship was with her boyfriend. So I'm not going to bring any of that up. Not being respectful to her, it's just I don't know the facts, so I'm not going to bring out any type of information that I don't know. So whatever. So basically, it also states, stop listening to these people that don't have the facts. And she refused to testify against him. I wonder why. So I want to thank that individual that I found that from online, because if we didn't have that information, then it wouldn't help us. Like not having that information wouldn't, or should I say, having that information helps us more with what went on 16 to 17 years ago. So by us knowing that information now we understand what Kobe was going through, in a sense, when it comes to the case. So now, everything that I'm about to talk about is everything that I looked up. So some of it may be true and it may not be true, but everything that I got, all the information that I got basically came from Gayle and people that's coming after Gayle themselves off of social media and news articles and videos. So let's go. So my first question of the day is, Why are famous black men being targeted in the news media these past several years? And not only just black famous men, regular Joe Schmoes on the street. So such as when we were going through and seeing every day black men and then black women being killed in cold blood by police officers in the street. So is there a war now that we now have to face against in this country as us being African American people here in this country? Because what people don't understand is back when, I think it was before World War II happened, when Hitler went on his little tirade of having propaganda in the German media to basically denigrate the Jewish community. So basically, as we all know, that they went into internment camps, and most of them came out, most of them didn't. Most of them were slain. Most of them probably died of diseases. So is this the same type of treatment that we're getting, but since in a way within the Constitution, is it illegal for them to put us in internment camps, work us to death, and gas us? Is that the plight that we're in, to where the internment camp that we're in is this country itself, and we can leave whenever we want, freely as we want, but we still have to come back to this country because there's certain rules and regulations that we have to follow by being in this country. So that's what I want to bring up. So is it that it's to intensify the assassination of black men, or the black male image in a militarized way in the media? If you can kill the image of the targeted group, then you can kill the body physically. Like I said, Hitler led a propaganda campaign against the European Jews before rounding them up into internment camps and slaughtering them. So is that what we're facing? Because it seems as though every month they have a new person. So when I was talking about the self-destruction of Oprah and what the hell she was doing, what she pulled out of, I didn't make that video, but I can talk about it now. She went on Gayle's television show that she's on CBS, and she basically told the world that she didn't have enough information to go against Russell Simmons, and the backlash she got from it, like, she heard it, but the reason why she pulled out wasn't because of the backlash she got. It was because she didn't have enough information to go against or to put out or have her name put on the documentary. It's still coming out, which I think is coming out this month, if not next month, but her name's not on because there's not enough information. So what I don't understand is that why is it that she's pulling out of something that she created? It wasn't something that just came out out of the blue that she wanted to do, because not only did she go against Michael Jackson, she wanted to go against somebody else that was black. And now that we come across with Gayle, she's basically digging herself a hole. This is one thing I can say. We let her slide with R. Kelly. We didn't care because what we wanted to know was everything that we knew about true. You know, if it came out of the horse's mouth itself, would we be able to hear from him if he'll fess up to it in but so many words of him trying to defend himself, or will we just have to speculate like we was for the past few years? And since he basically made a fool of himself on national television, it's basically, and not only that, he allowed his girlfriends to be interviewed, which basically was the icing on the cake. So that allowed us to understand R. Kelly's situation. So he's in jail now for that. So there's nothing more else for us to speculate. All right. So what I want to know is that Gayle King and Oprah, they have let's say an alliance or just a friendship with Harvey Weinstein. And what we're not understanding is Harvey has as many counts, if not probably less than Bill Cosby. And I'll bring up Bill Cosby, what he had to say later on in the video. But it seems as though that Oprah and Gayle have some sort of an alliance with Harvey Weinstein. And I'm not understanding how this can happen, of them just coming after African American men. I'm not understanding that, because if we were in high school, this would be the question. This would be the teenage question of them doing this. What the hell did we do to you that you have to come after us? And I say us because the country and now them are coming after black men and like it's nothing. And not only I just don't want to place the blame on them, but it's other news outlets and news medias such as Fox News and CNN and HLN and stuff like that. Like, the one thing I used to hate when I was, when I always looked at the news, like I barely look at the news now because Denzel says this:
if you don't read the newspaper, you're uninformed. If you do read it, you're misinformed.
So you heard what he said, right? It's either if you don't read the news, you're uninformed. If you do read the news, you're misinformed. So it's a lose-lose situation. So as I was stating, why is it that they're coming after us? Because Harvey Weinstein, and it seems like they're close friends, all three of them. And what I'm not understanding is why they're coming after black men. And to bring up the point I was trying to make earlier, the reason why I say us is because we're being attacked. And my other point is the reason why I don't look at the news anymore, because I remember when I used to sit and watch HLN, and I used to see Nancy Grace on there, and every month or so she would have a new person of interest of the month to talk about, such as the girl that got acquitted of killing her baby girl, and other people. It's weird that I was seeing that all the time, but it wasn't to where, oh, well, there's other stuff happening in the news that she can talk about, but it seems as though that she doesn't want to talk about it, which is fine, but because we're not actually giving them topics to talk about, but whatever. But it seems as though that Gayle King and Harvey Weinstein is basically, in a way, just coming after us, and their buddy has a court case coming up soon, and he did the same thing Bill Cosby did, and we all wonder, are they gonna give him the same amount of treatment that they're giving Kobe, Bill Cosby, R. Kelly, and many others? So within the interview, Gayle King is talking to Lisa Leslie, and she asks her a question about the court case and Kobe's legacy in his past, but Lisa Leslie doesn't budge, and she answers it like a G, and she basically says it's like this. Take a look.
It's been said that his legacy is complicated because of the sexual assault charge, which was dismissed in 2003, 2004. Is it complicated for you as a woman, as a WNBA player?
It's not complicated for me at all. I just never have ever seen him being the kind of person that would do something to violate a woman or be aggressive in that way. That's just not the person that I know.
But Lisa, you wouldn't see it though. As his friend, you wouldn't see it.
And that's possible.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't believe that. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying things didn't happen. Mm-hmm. I just don't believe that things didn't happen with force.
Is it even a fair question to talk about it, considering he's no longer with us and that it was resolved? Or is it really part of his history?
I think that the media should be more respectful at this time. It's like if you had questions about it, you've had many years to ask him that. I don't think it's something that we should keep hanging over his legacy. I mean, it went to trial.
Yeah, well, it was dismissed because the victim in the case refused to testify. So it was dismissed.
And I think that's how we should leave it.
So, with Lisa not budging, she constantly keeps asking her questions. And she still doesn't budge. And with that, it's like, why are you still trying to push certain narratives to have Lisa talk down to her late friend? And it's not fair. It's not fair at all, because she could have just took it as she did and basically went on with the interview. But this is what Gayle had to say about that.
I've been up reading the comments about the interview I did with Lisa Leslie about Kobe Bryant. And I know that if I had only seen the clip that you saw, I'd be extremely angry with me too. I am mortified, I'm embarrassed, and I am very angry. Unbeknownst to me, my network put up a clip from a very wide-ranging interview, totally taken out of context, and when you see it that way, it's very jarring. It's jarring to me. I didn't even know anything about it. I started getting calls. What the hell are you doing? Why did you say this? What is happening? I did not know what people are talking about. So I've been told, or I've been advised, to say nothing. Just let it go. People will drag you, people will troll you, it'll be over in a couple of days. But that's not good enough for me, because I really want people to understand what happened here and how I'm feeling about it. I reached out to Lisa because I know that she's a longtime friend of Kobe's to talk about his legacy and their friendship. We had a really wide-ranging interview, talked about many things. And yes, we talked about that court case because that court case has also come up. And I wanted to get Lisa's take on it as a friend who knew him well, what she thought, where that should stand. And I thought it was very powerful when she looked me in the eye as a member of the media to say it's time for the media to leave it alone and to back off. During the course of the interview, I asked follow-up questions because I wanted to make sure that her position and perspective were very clear. And at the end, when she said it's time to leave it alone, as I said, I thought that was powerful. And I insisted that part be in the interview because I thought that it put a nice button on that part of the conversation. When the interview aired, we got a great reaction to it. I talked to Lisa last night. I believe that Lisa was okay with the interview. And I felt really good about the interview. So for the network to take the most salacious part when taken out of context and put it up online for people who didn't see the whole interview is very upsetting to me, and that's something I'm going to have to deal with them. And there will be a very intense discussion about that.
So she basically tried to apologize for it. Well, not really apologize, but tried to describe in her mind what she tried to do. And it's not really what she was trying to do, it's what she was trying to push. And she was basically pushing Leslie to say, like, oh, well, yeah, well, I understand what you're trying to say, and yeah, that did happen. But no, she didn't. She wasn't going for it. So, Gayle was trying to say that, with this, so as you can see, what I'll put it up now.
Have ever seen him being the kind of person that would do something to violate a woman or be aggressive in that way. That's just not the person that I know.
But Lisa, you wouldn't see it though. As a friend, you wouldn't see it.
So basically, she was trying to tell Lisa Leslie, that she didn't know her friend the way she thought she knew her friend. And what I'm not understanding is that how could you try to tell somebody that they don't know their friend, like, intimately, and you trying to insinuate something? So basically, I have this is Gayle King was trying to insinuate that Lisa Leslie wasn't the friend she thought she was to Kobe. Because of this, Gayle was trying to say that the way Kobe would act in front of her isn't the way he would act in front of anybody else. So basically, she was trying to insinuate that Kobe was two different people because of this rape allegation. He's a kind and gentle guy to you, but then he's a monster outside of contact with her. Like, that's not the case. Kobe knew Lisa since he was drafted, or I think whenever the WNBA kicked off. They became real close friends. And she states it in the interview, and I'll play that part now.
WNBA star Lisa Leslie has had Kobe Bryant's jersey on display in her home. But since his death, it's taken on a special meaning.
He will be missed, but he will not be forgotten, that's for sure.
They met when Bryant was only 18 years old, before his rookie season with the Los Angeles Lakers and Leslie's debut with the Sparks. The two quickly became rising stars in LA basketball and grew close.
So, it seems as though that they had a great relationship, as like a sister brother type relationship. So, what I'm not understanding though is Lisa Leslie, and it's only one person that I saw when I'm looking at when I was looking at certain videos. Well, videos around my topic. It's only one person that shared the same sentiments that I do. Lisa basically says in the interview that Kobe would never ask her to get girls and stuff for him, but her other NBA friends would. What I'm not understanding why she would say something like that. So I'll let her say that. Go ahead, run the clip.
Kobe's not the kind of guy, never been like, Lisa, go get that girl, or tell her, or send her this. I have other NBA friends that are like that.
So, within that conversation, where does that fit, Lisa? And I'm not coming at Lisa about this, but I do know when certain things are presented, certain questions are asked, you give an answer. And there's certain things that you don't talk about. Now, I don't know if that's something that she just wanted to bring up, or if that's just something that she thought was fine to bring up, but to me, it didn't fit. It seems as though that she was low-key throwing her other NBA friends under the bus. And if that's the case, then okay. Then that's what she wants to do. But, Lisa, you have to be very cautious on how you talk and how you speak. Because that little sound bite, which nobody else caught, and I look at and I listen to everything. So, when I heard that, I'm like, what the hell are you doing? Like, no. You don't say stuff like that. You don't make somebody else seem like an angel, but then piss on everybody else. So, I didn't understand why she thought that was fine to bring up, because it's personally, to me, it doesn't make any sense at all. It doesn't. Like, why she had to bring that up. So, after all this happens, so after all this happens, the interview comes out or whatever. Gayle, CBS, which stands for either coming with the bullshit, complacent with the bullshit, committing bullshit, or consistently with the bullshit. Which one you think CBS stands for, that whatever. Because basically they played a clip with the sound bite that everybody's getting up in arms about, such as black celebrities, like black male celebrities or whatever. They all said this about the clip. Run it.
I don't understand what the goal is. To be honest, after the man's passed away, what is the goal at that point?
Do you think that it's unfair to his legacy?
I do think it's unfair, and I'm all for the actual movement and support of the movement. But is it for justice, or is it for revenge? Because there's a point that the accusations that they destroy everything, and there's no system involved. We're talking about problems that we have with the system, because the system doesn't work without good people. But if we leave it to the public court of opinion.
Gayle King, out of pocket for that shit. Way out of pocket. What do you gain from that? I swear to God, we the worst. We the fucking worst. We expect more from you, Gayle. Don't you hang out with Oprah? Why y'all attacking us? We your people. You ain't coming after fucking Harvey Weinstein asking them dumb-ass questions. I get sick of y'all.
Gayle King, why the fuck would you ask some shit like that? I don't give a fuck who friend it is. I don't give a fuck she can Obama. Why the fuck would you do something like that? Why would you do that to your people? You know what people going through, right? Why would you ask a fucking question like that, trying to tarnish somebody's image? You do that to your own black people. You say it.
Gayle King, goofy ass, nasty ass, disrespectful motherfucker, asking the great, classy Lisa Leslie about accusations about the late, great Kobe Bryant. What Lisa Leslie should have said to you, what about the accusations that you and Oprah been freaking off for the last 35 years, and Stedman is a beard for that?
Now, I gotta be honest with you. I am not angry that Gayle King asked Lisa Leslie a tough question. I am not angry that she asked her a follow-up question. I think that it went a little far. I also think that I can imagine Gayle King and Lisa Leslie's position, where Lisa Leslie has to basically go on about her friendship with Kobe Bryant, much like Gayle might have to go on with her friendship about Harvey Weinstein. And I think that they came up to, it would be about the same answer. They never did it around me. What I find disingenuous is that if you did it the right way, if you ask a tough question, and you ask a tough follow-up question, and you believe you were doing your job, the vocation is journalism, why did you apologize? Why did you respond to the backlash? I understand what it's like for people to not like a joke that I've told or a position I've taken. But I have done what I believe there is no response. I understand you're angry, and I'll just have to understand it.
I'm really disappointed in Gayle King. And now I'm going to say a couple angles on it, and then you guys can see. First and foremost, Gayle King, you're black. That's first right there, you're black. And on top of that, you have a double standard and a double responsibility as a journalist, as a host, to not only do your job, but on point to make sure you take care of us. Do you understand? Us. If you feel me? It's disrespectful to his family, to his legacy, everything. Case in point. When I interviewed Michael Jackson, right? There was about 8 questions that I could have asked Mike. I know it was a bunch of stuff going on, blah, 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 blah. Nah, I'm not taking this opportunity to disrupt the situation, that the trust that I have with Michael Jackson to even give me the opportunity for the interview, but also to change the energy.
So, Gayle has an apology. And it's just like, well, it's not really an apology. She was unapologetically apologizing for her comments in the interview, basically, because she basically just flat out was blaming the network, which I feel like, because if you hear it in her apology video, is basically her stating, I was advised to not say anything, but I'm gonna speak out. So this has me to believe that they had a meeting with you, because these black celebrities and other people that's dragging her, they basically have to have some sort of they probably have to have some sort of talk or whatever, because not only does it make, after the backlash, not only does it make Gayle look bad, it makes the network look bad, because when she did her R. Kelly interview, I think it was around the time when it was either she was going to leave the network, but when she did the R. Kelly interview and it, like, their ratings shot the hell up, they basically renegotiated a deal with her. So I think she's getting somewhere around like $15 to $20 million now, or if not more, added onto the salary she was already making, because it made their ratings just shoot through the roof. It was the most talked about thing for at least a good month or two. Basically, also, it connected with the Lifetime docuseries special on R. Kelly, and then it dwindles down for a while. Then the part 2 of the Surviving R. Kelly story comes out, which was lackluster. It didn't really have as much of a buzz as the first one did, but it did its numbers. So, which I don't know if Gayle's interviews with both R. Kelly and his 2 girlfriends, which I think it's Azriel Clary and I forgot the other girl's name, but the girl that was wearing like the red female business suit. So yeah, so I don't understand. So I don't know if it was the docuseries and then Gayle had the interview, and then the ratings shoot through the roof because of everything that was happening. And then her famous saying at a
Robert.
And while all that's happening, docuseries and the interview, then R. Kelly gets prosecuted. Well, not yet, but he gets put in jail for the accusations and the charges. And then Gayle gets a big payday. Everybody's happy, and then she does this bullshit with Kobe, which is very messed up, or whatever. And I don't really understand, like, why, like, it's okay just to shit on us. Like, why are you just shitting on black men like, why? Like, we want to know, from Oprah, why are you just shitting on black men such as Russell Simmons, Michael Jackson, after, your friend, you had your interview with Michael, and, back in the 90s, it seems as though that you guys became friends after that, and, boom, like, you basically piss on his grave, actually, because 2 guys want to come out and make accusations after a decade. He had his trial, and then a decade later of his death, they wanted to shit on him. So I don't understand, like, what are people thinking? It's not rocket science to not speak ill of the dead. Like, that's something that you learn while growing up. Like, why are you speaking ill of the dead? And, like, you're speaking ill of the dead because of, like, why? Just to make more money and for your company to get ratings? Like, is that what the whole thing is about? Is for y'all to get ratings? Like, this is ridiculous. So while like when Snoop Dogg and everybody else was coming out or whatever, like, I think around the time when Snoop made his video, he also tweeted to Gayle, like, yo, we waiting, Gayle, like, when is the interview gonna air? Basically about the Harvey Weinstein stuff, because it seems as though that everything is going on with this, with just, you know, with Michael Jackson, Kobe, Russell Simmons, and others, that you're not really making any more sense of just having the narrative of the black man is bad, but Harvey Weinstein and several other dudes such as Harvey Weinstein, I forgot the guy's name that was in House of Cards. I forgot his name, but yeah, like, why is it that you guys aren't coming after them? Like, even with that, like, it's like you're not spreading it around enough to, you know, to make it fair. So it's crazy, man. So along with that, with Snoop Dogg doing what he did, Bill Cosby came into the fray, which I don't understand why Bill came into the fray, because this is one thing I will say about the Bill Cosby thing. Those accusations were several years or 40 some odd, 50 some odd years that, you know, that he did what he did. And, you know, the one case I think that that put him away, like, I didn't know, like, that the what's the word that I'm looking for, y'all? That those allegations of how long that it happened from could convict him. Which, if they were recent, then okay. But Bill Cosby came into the fray, and he said this to Snoop Dogg. I think he tweeted him or whatever. So it says, at Snoop Dogg, when they brought me to my gated community and placed me inside of my penthouse, they didn't win, nor did they silence me. It's so sad and disappointing that successful black women are being used to tarnish the image and legacy of successful black men, even in death. Which, I don't know if that is really Bill Cosby saying that, but if he is, he does make a point. But Bill, you gotta sit your ass down and do your time, because you did something that was egregious. Also, that other people that were acquitted of their crimes are being made as the bad guy for it. Alright, so in the midst of all of this, Oprah had something to say when it comes to her friend being put on blast. So let's see what she said.
She's not doing well. May I say she is not doing well, because she has now death threats and has to now travel with security, and she's feeling very much attacked. You know, Bill Cosby is texting from is tweeting from jail, and she's not doing.
So Gayle is crying and not being able to sleep. That's what she said. That's what Oprah said. And because she's getting death threats and stuff like that, so she has to, you know, she has to have armed guards around her or what have you, because of everything that was being said on social media and what Snoop had to say or whatever. So, like, people are riding with Snoop and people are you know, basically trying to get at her in a way. So yeah, man, like this is crazy, like that this is happening. And I wouldn't wish death on anybody, because, you know, there's no coming back from that. But Gayle does need a good sitting down for a while, because she tried to make this interview with Lisa like the interview she had with R. Kelly. And it's sad, man. Like, it's real sad, like that she basically had to stoop so low to try to make everything make sense, and it didn't at the end of the day. And I don't think that is right. And Oprah and Gayle should sit down for a few years. I wouldn't even say they should issue apologies. Like, they should basically just try to I don't know, man. Like, they need to make this up somehow to black men. And whatever that is, we don't know, but they need to do something about it, because it's ridiculous. And this is a hard pill to swallow for him. That's all I gotta say. Alright, we reached the end of this video. I would like to thank everybody for watching this. Please tune in every Saturday. I would try to get these videos as early to you guys as possible. Please follow me on the social medias that will show up at the end of this screen. And again, thank you for watching, and I'll come at y'all with the next one. Peace.